it's Laurel from the North Raleigh Seed Library, and we are doing part 2 of our tour with Linda and Robert White. And again, I know you know these guys. They are so much fun. Linda's one of the funniest people you will ever meet in your life, and they just did an awesome outdoor yard tour with you. Now they're doing an indoor yard tour, and I want to tell you why. What is so cool is they have taken all these little cuttings, little plant gifts you've left, the half-dead ones, the happy ones, the ones that were questionable, that nobody knew what they were, and they raised them into great looking plants. I mean, something to be proud of. Something like if you went to the store, you would want that. So anyway, there is hope. There is hope for all of those little sticks. Don't give up. If you see a stick with half of a leaf sticking out, take it home with you, nurture it, and turn it into what these guys have done with their plants. So Linda does the indoor work, right?
Pretty much.
Pretty much?
Just water.
Yeah? Okay. Well, we have a couple of different ones, and I'll show those to you, but I want to talk about them first, and then we'll pop around. So hang tight with me because I know jack about houseplants, and they're going to school me fast. So here goes. What was the first one you remember bringing home?
Probably that large money tree. There's a large money tree, and it
What did it look
pretty sad.
like?
It looked pretty sad, and I was like, I always wanted one of those. Brought it home and watered it, put it in another pot. It needs a new pot now, but it's been growing and growing and growing, and it's done very well.
How many feet do you think it is now?
Oh, probably over 6 feet.
And how big was it when you got it?
Just 6 inches, maybe.
It was a stick. It was a stick, and now it's a beautiful tree. Wait till you see it. Yeah. And how long ago was that, do you think?
Maybe 3 years.
Oh, that's very good. All right, Robert, what do you think when she brings sticks home into the house and starts another pot? Are you cool with it?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Best husband ever. Well, except for Mike. But then now, let's move on to the next plant. What's another one you remember bringing home?
Probably that woman that advertised, and I tried to find her name. I couldn't find it, but she lives off of Falls of the Neuse. I think it's in one of those areas where... off of Riverview, you know, there's a whole development in there. I think Rose and Margaret live in there and a few others. She just said she was pruning back her schiffelera, and she had some branches, and she had a few of them out on her front steps, and I went and picked up a couple and stuck them in the pot and watered it, and it rooted.
Oh my gosh.
Some things root better in soil and some root better in water. I didn't even have rooting hormone, and she said it does pretty well, and it's done really well. It's a much larger plant. There's a few snake plants there. There was a woman that had called a spear plant, and that's had several babies since then, and it's done really well. I was not much of a houseplant person, but I feel like they picked me when I was there. They said, take me, so I did.
So I see your chauffeur whenever I pass by. Robert is fantastic. He drives, and she goes to the seed library and shops. So it's important to have 2 people when you go to the seed library, one to steer and one to hold the plants. So it's very important.
Absolutely.
Yes, and I have some philodendron over there, I believe, and that's done really well. And like I said, several different types of snake plants. I didn't know there were that many varieties. And then I looked up all the benefits of houseplants. They bring oxygen into your house. They take out the carbon dioxide, and they are very just good for you. So I'm glad to have them.
I really think I probably need to get into houseplants because as much as I talk, I take a lot of oxygen out of the house.
And they brighten things up. So yes.
So what about the really big plant? What is that one towards the back window?
That's the schiffelera. It's also an umbrella tree.
Oh my gosh, it's massive.
And that was just a couple of branches with a few little sprigs of leaf on it. And I thought, oh, I don't think this is going to do anything. And I put it in dirt and watered it, and it's been surviving for years. It's doing good.
Do you use a certain kind of dirt?
No, just the cheap stuff.
It's working. Whatever you're doing
it's on
is
sale.
working.
Some of them is pot. I'm not a big potting soil person. A lot of people know you have to have this, you have to have that. I'm like, it's dirt, I stick it. Sometimes we mix it with some of the dirt in the backyards.
It's working.
It doesn't
Oh my
complain.
gosh.
So
Which has been the hardest plant?
the what?
The most difficult? Is there any
The
that's
ones
finicky?
that I've had, I had some African violets that didn't survive. You have to water them from the bottom. So I've got to work on if I get any more of those. Ones that are fussy, these, like I said, the snake plants do well, philodendrons, certain ones, you can't kill them, I think. They just kind of, somebody brought up a little tiny sprig of a ZZ plant, and I had always wanted that. And I brought it home, and it's a lot bigger. It's done really well. That's another one that I've heard. It's ZZ, but it's because it's so easy. It's really easy to plant and does well. So I try not to do difficult ones because they don't like me.
Well, what's the one that looks like a Christmas tree over there? On the far
It's
side.
Oh, I
Norfolk
think it's
pine.
a type of a Norfolk pine, yeah.
Did that come from the seed library? or
No, I
somebody
kind of
else?
inherited it from my mother-in-law, but it doesn't seem to grow, but it's still alive, so I keep watering it. So
That, you know what? You've got a green thumb. It's going to
Maybe,
do
I
as
don't
well as
know.
it can do. Oh,
Yeah.
man. What about your peace lily over there? Where did that come from?
that came after my dad passed away. It was in a arrangement, but it's done well. And in with the peace plant, there's what's called a nerve plant, I guess, or the splash plants. And I had several of those. And somebody wanted some from the plant library, so I wasn't going to be home. I left it out on the front porch with a scissor, and she just came and got some clippings. So there's all kinds of ways. I've gotten a lot of things from people I've met in the group, and then you get together, you see them, and they share things. I've had a lot of things. I didn't mention the other day when we had the outdoor plants, I forgot, Sharon Schwinger gave me one of the Buckeyes. I had mentioned Marilyn, but I have another one in the garden that Sharon had. She had babies in hers, and she shared that. And I didn't mention when I mentioned the gardenias that Lila contacted me and said, hey, I got this giant gardenia in a pot that I don't want. Would you like it? I'm like, sure. And Robert was busy, and I was like, I got to get this in the garden. I dug a hole with it, and we made an agreement with the plant. I said, I can only get you in just so far, and you're going to have to mound up some dirt and survive. And then it flowered. And Lila was asking me about it recently, how it was doing. I said, you didn't see the pictures I sent you last year? It was filled with flowers. She said, that thing never flowered for me. So I thought, we made an agreement, and it worked. So plants decide where they're going to grow, I think, sometimes, where they're going to do well. But
Well, I love the story of I just love it. The one about the tree in the back. Robert, do you mind telling that again? About the finding the tree?
Oh, so our yard is filled with golden rain tree seedlings in various stages of growth. And we were searching for the mother tree, and we couldn't find it.
well, we were fairly new to the plant library. I didn't mean to interfere, but we were fairly new to the plant library. And I posted a picture of this plant asking people what it was, and they were saying it's a golden rain tree. I'm like, I don't think so. Because I looked it up, I'm like, that's something nice, and this is all over my yard. But then, go ahead, you can finish.
So one day we had a neighbor that was driving by the front of our house, and she stopped to talk with Linda. And she asked us, what is that beautiful tree with all the blooms at the very top? And we turned around and looked, and here's this golden rain tree, the mother tree, about 40 feet tall, with all these golden blooms at the very top. And it was the most obvious tree in this grove of trees that we have in back of our house. I mean, to most people, you wouldn't have ever have missed it. But we missed it until the neighbor pointed it out to us, and there it was.
I came running to Robert. I said, Robert, I found out where the golden rain trees came from. There's the mother tree. It was right there all the time. We didn't know it.
It's the tallest tree in the grove.
Yeah.
I love that.
So you never know what you have growing.
That is true. Oh, man.
Yes.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk around and I'm going to show you plants, and I'm just going to put some music to it so you can enjoy it. And these are the plants that we've talked about today. And just reach out to Linda if you have questions about specific ones. If you gave it to her or if you want to know more about it, since she's the houseplant lady. And I tell you, I'm just so grateful that she and Robert spent time with us today, just sort of letting you know kind of what you see at the seed library table doesn't always look like what you would see at a nursery, but if you just give it a little time, little cheap dirt and some water, it has potential. It can really turn into some beautiful things. And wait until you see what she has. It's
Yes.
pretty amazing.
The seed library and planting seed library has just been so much fun. It's been great for us. We've met so many people, and I've learned so much about plants, because when I see something, if it doesn't have a label, I'm going to try to Google it. Even if it has a label, I'm going to find out where I can plant this. Does it go in the sun? Does it go in the shade? Do deer like it? You know, you learn all kinds of things. Just, it's been a whole education being a part of the plant and seed library.
Well, knowing you guys have made us better, because I just built out our community with
Same
really
here.
cool people.